77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
Joining us now to talk about this and so much more is Seth Baron. He is a great reporter there with the New York Post. He also has a brand new book. It is called Weaponized: The Left's Capture and Destruction of America's Sacred Institutions. Seth, it's great to have you here on the Rita Cosby Show. And first of all, what did you make of AOC? This is sort of classic Democratic strategy, right?
Oh, well, first of all, let me thank you for having me on, Rita. It's a pleasure. AOC is a clown. She has been for years. If you may remember when she was standing outside like a parking lot pretending to cry, putting her hands behind her back, pretending she's handcuffed, pretending she's a congresswoman. No, I'm just kidding. She is a congresswoman, but it's unfortunate. Listen, they can talk about, they like to pretend that whenever a Democrat's in the White House, the federal government is all powerful and everybody has to listen to it. When a Republican's in the White House, they all revert to, we are New Yorkers and New York says this and New York and California says that. Look, being a sanctuary state doesn't mean anything. They think that they can tell the feds what to do. Oh, you can't wear a mask. You can't enter here. You can't enter there. We'll keep you out of parks. It's absurd. And Tom Homan, God bless him. I'd love to hear him talk.
Yeah, me too. You know, your book sort of talks about this weaponization of institutions. And I think I can't even imagine what's going on in your mind today, Seth, because Obama came out. I don't know if you heard this, and he came out and he was saying, you know, we cannot overcome DOJ's politicization and what the attorney general had done, like insinuating he's talking about Trump. He's not talking about Biden and Obama. It's complete gaslighting, which is, I know, something you write about.
Oh, it absolutely is. And talk about weaponization. I mean, in my book, I talk about the use, how Obama used they basically twisted the Fair Housing Act to go after suburbs and sue all these different bedroom communities to force them to have, quote, affordable housing, which really, you know, you and me, we know that means subsidized housing. They call it affordable housing. And trying to regionalize these urban, suburban areas to force the suburbs to take on the burden, the dependency burden of the cities. He sued the hell out of different suburbs. So, and that's just the beginning. This guy is the king of weaponization.
How about also Ken Griffin and what's happening in New York? Because Mondani seems to be driving people out faster than a Porsche.
Well, Mondani, I mean, he's in the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. Okay, he won election. He won a Democrat won a Democrat primary. Wow, big deal. Okay, so he's the mayor. He imagines, and they all imagine, that they are like 2 minutes from achieving total domination of the country. And he gets ahead of himself. He films this cute video. That's all he does is film cute videos, tapping on the camera and saying, we're going to tax the rich. I'm standing outside this guy's house. I mean, you know what? Like, there was a CEO murdered pretty close to Ken Griffin's house. And Mamdani's standing there essentially saying, hey, here's where you can come. Come hang out outside. It was a really sick thing to do. And you know what? Good for Ken Griffin. Mamdani, they think that they can run the state on public servants, home health aides, and like just people who sit in a cafe and play on their laptop. He's going to find out that the productive people who are leaving in droves, they're the ones who are funding the whole massive $250 billion state budget. So I think he's going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah. What about public safety? You know, it's shocking. That has really become politicized. Don't you feel like, and how sad is that? That police, I feel like, have been used as pawns. I mean, you see the whole defund the police movement, Seth.
Absolutely. Well, I talk about public safety in my book. And what I find interesting is, as part of the defund the police movement, what they've done is they've captured the term public safety and they go around redefining it constantly. So they talk about real public safety is healthcare. Real public safety starts with fully funded schools. Real public safety means, no food deserts or whatever. So, that's a minor point, but yes, they twist the meaning of words in order to further basically it's a communist agenda. I would say regarding policing, it's funny, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, when he came into office, they had something called Accountability Mondays, when they would get together and talk about the weekend's murder harvest. And he said, we're canceling Accountability Mondays because nobody's accountable. You can't hold me. You can't blame me. You can't blame my office. Murders are the result of deep-rooted social causes, and we have to get to the root of all the social causes before we can start assigning blame for murders. So, this is the kind of approach that we see them take. It's just constant deflection, constant, finger pointing, and then demanding more and more and more money to flood the social service complex, to flood the NGO complex, to flood the teachers' unions, and basically drive. It's funny. The old mayor of Chicago, Jane Byrne, they once asked her, "Aren't you worried about white flight?" And she said, "There's not that much white to flee. Like they'd already left."
Wow.
This is isn't that funny? That was 45 years ago. So this is really the project for some reason to destroy the cities. And then,
by the way, like you said, they seem intent on it. That's the thing. Like you said, Seth, it's sort of like a mission. Before I let you go to these protests that are taking place all over the country, we saw some of them at Park East Synagogue last night. They got completely out of control. We've seen a lot of really crazy ones on college campuses. And it seems like the teachers union, and it seems like even a lot of groups across this country are organized. Also, I believe maybe some foreign funds too, but they're actual groups that seem to want to undermine America in some ways.
Absolutely. And the people at Park East Synagogue, they were fighting with the police, and they were saying, well, we just want freedom to protest. Well, what would have happened if they'd broken through the line? Were they going to go beat up people at the synagogue or wreck it? Yes, a lot of them are paid. A lot of them are connected to larger organizations, and they're absolutely committed to causing chaos. They've accepted this idea that Palestine is at the center of everything. Palestine is the reason why why the police are so mean to them. They think that this is I talk about this in the book. It's a long story dating back to the 60s, but they see themselves as essentially the inheritors of Che Guevara and Patrice Lumumba and Marighella in Brazil. So this is a long story of the third worldization of the left and their infatuation and identification with Palestine. And so they think that they're revolutionaries. That's basically it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Right. But, you're right. They're romanticizing some very concerning. It's like when they're out there. How about in Times Square? It was gays for Gaza. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? First of all. And this was right after 9/11. First of all, what happens in Gaza to gays, and second of all, they're sitting there cheering for Hamas. It's shocking, and it's just so disheartening. Seth, really terrific to have you on. I want to tell everybody again, the book is called Weaponized: The Left's Capture and the Destruction of America's Sacred Institutions. Seth Baron from the New York Post. You got to come back on again, Seth. You're terrific. Thank you.
I'd love to, Rita. Thank you.
Thank you. Such an important topic. And congrats on the book, a very timely and important one. Thank you very, very much.
Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit asbgold.com. That's asbgold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.